Right, so we're on to round number 74, and I've gone ahead, and this is basically just to show you what we're going to be doing, right? So you have an idea, so I'll see you in a second. Right, so let's get started. So the color that I'm using is my green gauge. I'm sure it's called green gauge. But I was looking on the website where I buy my yarn, and I'm sure it was called something else. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work into round number 72. So we worked half double crochet front posts over round 72, and we're going to work into those same double crochets, right? So we're making those double crochets from round number 70 to really pay rent, right? And we're going to start, remember where we did our line of double crochet front posts? So we're going to begin with a single crochet front post over that double crochet front post. You can begin with any one, right? So we'll just call that the first double crochet front post. Then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to work one single crochet front post around the next 14 stitches, right? So that's 3, 4, and try and get over the post of the double crochet like that. All right, because we want to work into these. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Right, because we are going to work into those double crochets again in the next round. Come on now, play nice. Goodness me, so one of those days. You know Mercury's in retrograde, right? Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So don't work over the top of the double crochet, which is kind of easier, but make sure that you get under those little strands. So you see these strands over here. So you don't want to work there. You want to work over the actual post of the double crochet. Okay, otherwise it's really going to be very squashy. So just make sure that you're working over the post of the stitch and not around that little top part of the stitch. So you might have to just dig in there. Anyway, what you're doing is working 14 single crochet front posts, right? And then your 15th stitch every time, okay, will be that double crochet front post. So there it is, there it is. You're working a single crochet front post over that double crochet front post, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then continue. So you're working one single crochet front post, making sure that you work over the post of the stitch, and you're doing that 14 times. And then, so basically, you'll end up with 30 times chain 5 spaces and 30 times 14 single crochet front posts, which equals to 420 single crochet front posts, right? Okay, so I'll just do this one more time so that there's no confusion, and then you can just go ahead and finish. Right, so we've reached our 15th stitch, which is a double crochet front post, single crochet front post, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet front post into the next 14 stitches. Right, so you're just going to work your way around like that, and then I shall see you at the end. But to finish off, we're just going to slip stitch into our very first single crochet. Then that's round number 74 done and dusted. But I'll see you at the end of the round. And now to finish this round, there are two ways to finish this off. Either you can slip stitch into that single crochet and fasten off, or you can do what I'm going to do. I don't know if it's the better way, but I'm just going to snip off, pull through my yarn, right, and then just use my tapestry needle and finish off like that, right. Okay, so it's a bit like an invisible join, but not quite. It's like a double invisible join, because I don't want anything to come undone. Right, and then you can just work your beginning tail to the wrong side like that, and then you can work in your tails along the back strands of your single crochet front posts. Right, so easy peasy. And that is round number 74, and I shall see you at round number 75. So round number 75, I'm going to be using my denim color, and this is a super easy peasy round. We're going to be working into all of our stitches from round number 72. So we're working behind our previous round, and I would suggest that you start in your first double crochet. So our first double crochet we made over a double crochet front post from round number 72. So begin in the very next double crochet. Now you're going to just have to be cognizant of your stitch count. Make sure that you do get 450 double crochets at the end of this round. Right, so count again in sets. We're going to be counting in sets of 15, right? So if you're 100% sure that your stitch count is correct, then you probably don't have to count, but I do count. Right, nothing worse than skipping a stitch. So we're working into the top of our double crochets from round number 72, as you can see. And that's why I was saying that it's important to work into or around the post of the stitch, making those single crochet front posts, so that you can clearly see the top of the double crochet. So this double crochet has worked really hard because we've worked 3 rounds into this double crochet from round number 72. Right, so you're just going to be working double crochets all the way around. So I just want to do the first 15 with you so that there's no confusion. Right, so how many do we have at this point? So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Right? And then we're not doing any chains or anything like that. We're just skipping that chain space and working into the very next double crochet. Right, and you'll work your second set of 15 and so on and so forth. So you'll end up with 30 times 15 double crochets, which is equal to 450 double crochets. Right, and when you get to the end, you just slip stitch into your second double crochet, but don't fasten off. Right, and that's where I'll see you. Right, so I'm going to make my 15th double crochet like so, and then slip stitch into the second double crochet. Now, we're not going to fasten off, but you can fasten off if this part is a little bit tricky. So I've never made a double crochet back post from this position before, so I'm going to try. Right, so we've done a slip stitch, yarn over, and we are going to double crochet back post around our very first double crochet from the previous round, right? Like that. Not ideal, but if you don't want to do that, you can always fasten off and then just begin your next round from scratch, right? With a chain 3 back post, which counts as one double crochet back post, or a standing double crochet back post, right? But I'm going to do it like this so that I don't have to fasten off, right? And a few less tails to work in. And that's what we're going to do for the rest of this round. So this is round number 76. I'm continuing with the same color. That's the other thing. If you want to change up your colors for each of these rounds, then you will have to fasten off, right? And we're just going to make double crochet back posts around our 450 double crochets from the previous round, and then I shall see you at the end of this round. Right, so we're just going to do that. So pretty easy peasy, right? Okay, so you're going to go all the way around and I'll see you over here. So again, round number 76, and I'm using the denim. Right, so we are getting to the end of our round number 77. Sorry, I'll be there in a moment. There we go. So round number 77. To finish off round number 77, we'll slip stitch into our second double crochet as we did before, right? In round number 75. Now for round number 77 and round number 78, we are going to do exactly what we did in round number 76. So we've done our slip stitch into our second double crochet. We're going to yarn over and work another or our first double crochet back post around the first double crochet back post from our previous round, right? Like that. And then we're just going to do exactly what we did before, which is working double crochet back posts around all of our stitches. Okay, so this is round number 77, and for round number 78 you're going to do exactly the same as we've just done, right? So I'm going to see you at the end of round number 78. So we'll have 4 rounds of this color, well, the color that I'm using, which is the denim. You might have done things differently, so you might have started each round with a different color, which I did say was possible, right? But then you have to slip stitch and close off after each round, right? But if you're continuing with the same color as I am, then you're going to have 4 rounds, okay, in the same color. Our double crochets, double crochet back post, double crochet back post, and another row of double crochet back post. So that's 4 rows. Not 4 rows, 4 rounds, right? Okay, so you're just going to continue with this in the same way that you did for round number 76. You're going to finish off in the same way that you did for round number 76, and then you'll have your round number 77 done and dusted, and then you will start your round number 78 exactly the same way that you started your previous 2 rounds, and you'll finish off with a slip stitch into your second double crochet back post, right? But that's where I'll see you, so don't worry about that. I shall see you at the end of round number 78. Right, so I've made my final double crochet back post, and to close we're just going to skip that first double crochet back post and slip stitch into the second double crochet back post. Right, so now we have our 4 rounds of double crochets. Right, 3 are double crochet back posts and 1 is just double crochets. Rightio, so that was pretty boring. Just repetitive rounds, what I call my Netflix rounds. And that's it. So round number 78, done and dusted. Word of advice, check your stitch count before you go on to the next round. Right, so I shall see you at round number 79. On to round number 79, and the colour that I'm using is this lovely green gauge. Well, I'm calling it green gauge. Could be green age, but I haven't had a chance to really check. But what's in a name, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to begin in our previous round, number 74, into our chain 5 loops. We're going to be making sets of trebles together, so 3 trebles together, right? So I'm going to start with a chain 4, and then we'll just make, so as you can see, using very, very basic crochet stitches to build up our throw. Right, so chain 1 to close, and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over twice, and 1, 2, right, 3 trebles together. Pull through, chain 1 to close, chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're just going to flip our work over, right, so that the wrong side is facing us. And we're going to find this section of chains, right, that we made over here with those nice plump stitches together, right? So we're going to find this, so it's pretty simple because you just do that, right? And then you'll see that you have 8 back strands of the single crochet front posts from round number 74, right? So there they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what you want to do is count 1, 2, and into the 3rd back strand of that single crochet front post from round number 74, we're just going to place a single crochet, right? And then we're going to chain 2, we're going to skip 1, 2, and now this will be the 3rd if you're counting from left to right, 1, 2, 3, right? We're working a single crochet, and that's just to anchor our chains at the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll just repeat everything that we've just done. So yarn over twice, and we are working 3 trebles together. Right, so using nice, easy peasy, very, very basic crochet stitches to build up our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over twice, and again into our chain 5 space, working into round number 74, right, and then another, right, chain 1 to close each time, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you'll attach your single crochet on the wrong side as I just showed you, right? So pretty simple. So you can just grab that little tail, put it to the back, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to end up with 30 times 2 times 3 trebles together. It's a bit of a mouthful, right? And we are going to end up with 90 chain 6 spaces, right? And we're going to end up with 30 chain 2 spaces and 60 single crochets. And if that was too much to keep in your mind what I just said, please do pop on over to the written pattern and just make sure that your stitch count corresponds, right? Stitch count, very important. Right, so you're just going to carry on like that, and then I shall see you at the end of this round, which is round number 79. We are finishing up with our round number 79. So I've made my last chain 6 space, and to close off we're just going to slip stitch into the top of our very first 3 trebles together. Right, and then we're going to fasten off, and there we go. Right, so that's it. Easy peasy, and it's going to look like so. Okay, so I'll just leave you to work in your ends because I know you're being very good about that. Right, and I shall see you in a moment at round number 80. So we're on to round number 80, and round number 80 is a nice easy peasy round because all we're going to be doing is half double crochet front posts, right? So we're going to be working in front of our chain 6s, the ones between our 2 times 3 trebles together, right? The other thing I wanted to say was it's a very stormy and overcast day, and I just hope that the lighting is all right. I'm going to put the lamp on and see if it makes much of a difference. A little bit. Right, so now the most difficult part of this round is where you begin, or should I say how you begin, because you're going to have to just eyeball the very first stitches that you do, right? So what we want to do is we are trying to get, as you can see, this is not exactly in line with our double crochet front post that we made all along here, but it's definitely close enough. Now what we want to do is we want to kind of, if you look between those 2 strands of your, or you know, just the parts of the loop like that, okay, because we've already worked into the top of the loop, then kind of if you just pull them apart like that, you can see this double crochet here. Now what you want to do is sort of follow the line up from that double crochet to sort of find your center point. So there's the double crochet, there's the next one that we worked into, and the next one, and the next one. Right, so we're going to assume that this is sort of center as we can make it. Now what we want to do is we want to work into 5 stitches between those 2 times 3 trebles together. Right, so we found our center one. Now for your own ease, you can just mark that center one, but I wouldn't really worry about it because your very first 5 stitches will kind of set the pace for the rest of the round. So you don't really need to mark that. Right, so there's the center one, and then we have two on the right, 2 on the left, so we have 5 double crochet back posts. Now we're working in front of the chain 6s, right? So don't lose sight of that first one. So we're going to work, into that sort of center one. So now we're going to work into the first of the 5 double crochet back posts, right? And we're going to make a chain 2 front post, which is equal to 1 half double crochet front post. So that's stitch half double crochet number 1, so stitch number 1, stitch number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So we're only working half double crochet front posts here, right? Like that. Then we're going to skip over our second half double crochet, our second 3 trebles together, and we're going to work another half double crochet front post. So just make sure that you're working into the correct one, right? So this is the one that we've worked. It's the last of the 5, and then we're going to work 10. So we're going to work it half double crochet front post over the next 10 stitches, right? So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now remember, we've kind of been working in increments of 15. So now we have 15 stitches. So we have 15 stitches. So we're going to do what we've just done 30 times, right? Now you're going to yarn over. And now, as I was saying, those first 5 stitches, once you've done those, then the rest of the round is super easy, right? So now we're just going to half double crochet front post over the next 5 stitches, and that will automatically just be the 5 stitches that are the correct 5 stitches, right? And kind of will sit sort of in the center between those 2 sets of 3 trebles together, right? So we've done 5 half double crochet front posts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip, right? So we can see we've worked that one. It's a bit difficult when you work in the same color. And now we're going to skip that second 3 trebles together, and we're going to work another 10 stitches, another 10 half double crochet front posts, right? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the next 5 half double crochet front posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, right? So you can see how that's going to look like that. Okay, so that's easy peasy. So the most tricky part, as I said, was the beginning over here. So if you get that right, and when I say get that right, I just mean that your 2, we're going to just call them leaves, that your 2 leaves are sitting nice and sort of center. They're not doing that. You know, if they're veering over to the left-hand side or they're veering over to the right-hand side, then you know that you haven't done your 5 half double crochets center, right? So anyway, but I did show you how to find that center point, so it shouldn't be a problem from here. And that's it. You're just going to go around like that, and you're going to end up with 450 half double crochet back posts. So when we did that aggressive 150 stitches where we increased our round and everything was kind of doing that, because we're going to be working into all of and doing all this like fancy hook work, everything is going to lie flat at the end of this. Right, so I shall see you at the end of this round. We can just finish off round number 80 together before we go on to round number 81. I wanted to give you a little tip about keeping or making sure that you're not skipping any stitches, because there's nothing worse than having to do 450 half double crochet front posts only to discover that somewhere along here you've skipped a stitch. So what I've been doing is, right, so I'll show you, and this is a good way to check that you're on track. So 1, 2, and your third stitch should correspond with that double crochet in the center space, like that. Right, and can you see how this does? Okay, so if your third stitch of the 5 corresponds with that stitch, so what I mean is your third stitch isn't going to sort of be sit over here or sit over here, then you know you're on track and you haven't missed or skipped any stitches, right, along the way. Okay, so that's the way I've been checking. And the other way also is if these 10 stitches over here, the first one and the last one kind of aligns with the top of your first set of those double trebles that we made over here, those double trebles, those double trebles that we made together here, those 8, right? So it should kind of align with that, and the 10th one should kind of line up with that. Okay, so those are my tips for what they're worth. So I hope that's helpful. Right, so I have made my final half double crochet front post, and then I'm going to skip to my second half double crochet front post of my first set of 5. Okay, and so remember the chain 2 front post was the first half double crochet front post, right? And then snip off and just close. Right, there we go. So at this point, you're going to have that interesting little shape going on like that. And also your edges are not going to be wavy. At this point they should be, if you take your piece and just lay it out on a flat surface, you know, like your bed or on a carpet, in your living room or anywhere where it's not going to be trodden on and you can spread it out, you'll see that your edges are lovely and weighted. So they, you know, doing that, they have bulk and they're not doing that. So they're no longer stingrays, right, with those like floppy edges. Okay, so that is round number 80 done and dusted, and hopefully your stitch count is all in order and it went well, and you didn't end up with either one stitch too little or one stitch too many, but mine worked out perfectly. So I was quite happy with that, because I get distracted in the course of doing one round, especially when they're quite long rounds. I get distracted by all sorts of things. People coming to the door, the dogs, this, that and the other, the washing machine telling me to come and hang up the washing, and so on and so forth. It's actually amazing that I even keep on track. Right, so I'm going to see you at round number 81. We're on to round number 81, and the colour that I'm using is the claret or claret, if that's the way you pronounce it. So the first thing we're going to do is find any set of 10 half double crochet front posts from our previous round. Okay, we're just going to flip our work like that, and we're going to find the 10 corresponding double crochet back posts from round number 78. Okay, now what we want to do is we are going to work 4 double crochet front posts. Right, 1, 2, 3. Goodness me. Maybe I should try that again. So we want to work 4 double crochet front post. So I'm starting with a chain 3 front post, right? And then we work the second double crochet front post, the third, and the fourth. Okay, so we're working into round number 78. Chain 2. Now we're going to skip our next double crochet and we're going to work into the space. So not into the stitch of the next double crochet, but into the space. Then we're going to chain 2, yarn over. We're going to skip the stitch and we're working a double crochet front post, 1 over the next 4 double crochet back posts, right? From round number 78. I think it's round number 78. Yes, round number 78. Good. Right. Now, so what you have here is we've worked 10 stitches. So even the skip stitches we count as part of this little whatever's going on here. Right, so we have 4 double crochet front posts. We have 2 chain 2 spaces, 1 single crochet and another 4 double crochet front posts, and we have skipped 2 double crochets. Right, so far so good. Now again we're working in front of our chain 6 space from round number 79, and those 5 double crochet back posts that correspond with your half double crochet front posts, right? We're just working 5 double crochet front posts. So 3, whoopsie, did I skip one? 1, 2, 3, 3. What have I done here? Something very odd. Oh, there's one. Can you see how sneaky these little stitches are? Come out of here. Okay, so hidden, right? I knew there were 5 stitches there, and then suddenly there were 4. So that's 3, 4, 5, right? So that's 5 double crochet front posts that we've worked in front. So it's going to look like that. Okay. And then we skip that tip of the next 3 trebles together, or you know, the chains, whichever way you want to see that, right? And then again we are working 1 double crochet front post 4 times, chain 2, skip this double crochet, single crochet into the next space, chain 2, skip that double crochet and double crochet front post over the next 4 double crochet back posts, righty ho. and then you're going to dig out those 5 double crochet back posts in front of your chain 6 space from round number 79, and just continue with that sequence, right? Okay, so it's going to look a bit odd at this point, but there is method to my madness, as you know. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that until you have 30 times 13 double crochet front posts, because we've got 4, 8 and then 5, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you're going to have 30 sets of 13 double crochet front posts, and you're going to have 60 chain 2 spaces, right? 60, because it's 30 times 2, right? So you're going to have 60 times chain 2 spaces and 30 single crochets, right? And I'll see you at the end of this round. Right, and to close our round number 81, we'll just slip stitch into the second double crochet front post. Now we are going to continue doing more or less the same thing. So what you could do, instead of fastening off or snipping off your yarn, you can continue by making that double crochet front post directly similarly to how we did the continuous rounds with the double crochet back posts, okay? But I'm not going to do that, and the reason is because I'm not really fond of the little seam, which I know is, you really can't see it unless you know where it is, but personally I'm not fond of the little seam that's created when you continuously follow on to the next round. Okay, so I am going to snip off my yarn at this point. Okay, and then just pull through like that. Okay, so I'm sorry about the lighting again, just one of those things, the winter lights. And I shall see you at round number 82. Rightio, so begin. I'm actually trying to change a setting on my phone. It's not playing along, to sort of brighten things up, but it's very weird. I put the setting on and then as soon as I start videoing, it goes back to the original setting. So sorry about that. I hope you can see what's going on here. I'm going to put my lamp on. That helps a little bit, right? Rightio. So now this, okay, so for those of you who have decided to make this a continuous round, you're going to have to just keep an eye on what I'm doing and then correlate it with where you have started, right, and how you've started, and just kind of keep in mind what we're doing, right, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin in one of the double crochet front posts after, so to the left of the second, any second chain two space, right? Okay, so for me it's just easier to do it this way, right? So I'm going to begin with a double crochet front post. So for me that's my regular chain 3 front post. So we are working into those 13 stitches that we made between our chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then we had the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So a double crochet front post over the first of 13 stitches. Then we're going to work double crochet front posts over the next 3 double crochet front posts, right, like that. Okay, then for that set of 5 that we made, we're going to work double crochet back posts. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is one of those sections which we are going to be building up, right? So for a while it's not going to look like anything special at all. Okay, so we have our 5 double crochet back posts. Then we're going to make our next 4 double crochet front posts, so over the double crochet front posts from the previous round, like that. Okay, now so it's going to look like that. Okay, then we'll chain 2, so the same as the previous round, we chain 2, but we are going to make a half double crochet back post around the single, not a double crochet, half double crochet. Right, half double crochet, back post around our single crochet, then chain 2, yarn over, and then we're back to this section again. So we're making 4 double crochet front posts, then we're making 5, so I'm just going to do it one more time, then we're making 5 double crochet back posts, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we'll make our next 4 double crochet front posts. I just want to repeat all of this with you. Of course you can go back on the video, but I'll just do this, and then we do a chain 2, yarn over, half double crochet back post, chain 2, and off we go again for our next section. So it's going to look like that. So your sections of 5 double crochet back posts are going to correlate with your leaves, right? So it's going to look like that. Okay. Okie dokes. And then you just carry on like that. And again, for each section, you'll have 30. So you'll have 30 sections of this, and you'll have 30 sections of the chain and the 2 chain 2s and the half double crochet back post. Right. So I shall see you at the end of this round, which is round number 82. Righty-ho. So to finish off our round number 82, we're just going to slip stitch into the top of our second double crochet front post and fasten off. And then the same applies if you are going to continue in the same color and you want to do a continuous round, then you can just carry on, because round number 83 we are going to do exactly the same, but I'm snipping off and round number 82 I'm just going to start in a different place, and I do that so that I don't have those seams where I finished off. Right, so I'm just going to do a quick demonstration. Okay, so you can begin in any set of double crochet front posts, again to the left of a chain 2 space, right? Okay, and then we are making our 5 double crochet back posts, so we have 4 double crochet front posts and 5 double crochet back posts, right? And then again we have 4 double crochet front posts. Sorry about the noisy neighbors. 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And then we chain 2 and work a half double crochet back post, again chain 2 and continue. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So basically your round number 83 is going to be exactly the same as round number 82, and you'll finish off in exactly the same way. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of this round. And again, I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't know how well it's showing up on your side. Okay, but on my side it just seems very dark. I don't know why. even though it is cloudy outside. So again, I am trying to sort of change the settings on my phone, but it's not playing ball. Right, so that's how it's going to start looking. Okay, so see you at the end of round number 83, which is in fact our 10th round. So sorry, I got distracted there. Suddenly a motorbike and a dog barking. Could be a delivery. Anyhow, I shall see you at the end of round number 83. And then to close our round number 83, we're just going to do what we did in the previous round and slip stitch into the second, double crochet, and whoops, fasten off. Right, and that's it. So at this point, your circle is going to feel a bit bigger again, extended. It's not going to be quite as sort of tight as this area to be sort of going out again. But this section over here is only the beginning of some fancy hook work a little bit later on. Okay, so I will love and leave you to go and work in all of your tails, and I'll see you at the beginning of the next 10 rounds. See you then.